Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Lofty N Scaler. Today we're going to talk about taking your track plan from your design and putting it actually on the layout. So transferring it from paper to the actual layout. And then we also have a special announcement. Hi everybody, Curtis aka the Lofty N Scaler here. Today we're talking about transferring our track plan, but I also have a special announcement. I did a video a little bit back on the comparison of DCC systems, and the company DigiKeys over in the Netherlands saw it, and so they sent me via their North American distributor, Iron Planet Hobbies, an actual DCC system. So I actually have in my possession the DigiKeys DR5000. So, and we are going to be using this for the layout. And there was no condition on as to, I'm going to give my honest opinion about this device. I've heard nothing but good things about it, but I'm going to give you my honest opinion about it. Thank you, Iron Planet Hobbies. We'll just see how this works, and we're very excited to have this DigiKeys DCC system. It's really an incredible system. Nobody else is producing a system like this, and what makes it so special is that it has basically every connection known to man that you can have for a DCC system. So if I have Digitrax, or I have a Roku Z21, if I have NCE, I can plug in whatever controller I want into this. So if somebody's used to running a Digitrax system, they can bring their controller and plug it right into it, and they can run their Digitrax system on it. If they have a different system, they can plug it in. It's basically kind of like a universal DCC system. So anyway, we're going to see how that works. We're very excited to have it. Thank you, DigiKeys and Iron Planet Hobby. So now on to transferring our track plan to the layout. Now on my track plan, when I printed it out, I actually used some software to do this. So you'll see, I don't know if you can see it on this or not, but there is a square grid, and each square grid is a 1 foot square grid. And I designed this layout actually to be on a 2 foot by 8 foot, or this section of the layout to be on a 2 foot by 8 foot piece of foam core. And then I also designed it so that the main line runs right smack dab down the center of the foam core. So basically what I have to do is I have to mark things up on this foam core, and to do that I'm going to use Sharpies. Now I would ordinarily use a pencil if I was on wood, but pencil doesn't transfer well to foam at all. So I'm going to use Sharpie, and I'm going to use brown to do the lines. Black is going to be for where the train is going to go, where the actual route is going to go, and then the different colors, red, green, blue, will be for wiring and things like that. So I'm going to have everything else marked out. Once I get my initial track plan down, that's when these handy dandy switch templates come out. So the switch templates, I will cut them out, and then the actual switch will be glued to this board on my main line, and then we'll kind of go from there. So why don't I go ahead and get started, and then you can kind of see the process. I have another camera sitting up here that hopefully will catch some of it and give you an idea of what I want. But basically what I'm going to do now is, since this is in a 1 foot square grid on this, I'm going to put a 1 foot square grid on the foam itself. So I'm going to measure out 1 foot square, and then draw lines, and then I'm going to match things up and put switches down and things like that. So here we go. Okay, so I've gotten the main grid down. Let's see if I can pan down a little bit so you guys can see. So that's my main grid right there. And now I'm going to start like taking my track plan here and just kind of mapping it out where it's going to be. So I know that my main line goes straight all the way from the top to the bottom down to the center line. So that's going to be in this black marker. So I have the switch templates now, and so I'm going to need a right hand turnout. So this is a double stick adhesive. This is kind of like a big thing of it. You don't have to get something like this. Is a big dispenser. You don't have to get a big dispenser. I use this for photography, so I just happen to have it. But basically I cut out my template here, and now I'm going to put it on the actual layout. So that switch goes there. And then I need a left-hand turnout. Okay, there we go. All right. And so basically we just go through the whole layout and do that. And I'm going to put the switches down first on the main line, and then we'll worry about the sides after that. One, two. Okay, so whenever you're trying to do a radius or a curve, mostly what I've been doing here is straight line. But since I'm going to be laying cork and I want to have a nice general sweep, I want to know how to transfer that. So what I have here is a flexible ruler, and the ruler, this is a little bit thick. I have some aluminum strips that are actually very good, like a flexible ruler, like an aluminum ruler, but I just basically am putting it between, and I don't know if you can see it right here, just a couple of ceramic coasters here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the end of this ruler and bend it over here to my curve that I want to adjust to. So I want to make sure I get everything right here. And typically speaking, if you have a couple of 2-inch long foam pins that you can pin something down to, the ruler down to, that's the best way to do it. I'm doing with what I have right now. My pins are upstairs, and I don't know, I don't want to dig through it all. So anyway, I've created this curve. Let's see here. Okay, so this is my switch here, and it's going to curve into this switch. And I'm just going to very gently draw my radius. Okay. Trying not to push this. There we go. So, from my switch here, I'm using the ruler, I drew a nice general radius. So when I put my cork down, it'll have this nice sweep. Like I said, I've got a piece of aluminum that's short. It's only like this long, but it's 4 feet long. So it's for, like, you know, making big curves. This I got at an art supply store. It's just clear and it's really, really flimsy. If I were to try to use a ruler like this, I probably could, but I'd really have to pin it down, and it's a lot of pressure on it. This just because it's so thick. So try to use something that's easily bendable, and then you should be good to go. So that's basically the general idea. Try to make it easier for yourself with the grid, using a 12-inch grid. I did not put the 2 tracks that'll come out over here because I don't have this section yet. Once I have this section, then I'll probably worry about that later. But I put the switch in place for that future expansion. All the other lines. Now these other lines here that are not in the center main line will not have cork road bed. So it'll have a little bit of cork, and then it's going to gradually go off, and it's just going to be laid flat on the foam because it's a secondary line. It's not a primary line. It's just a spur. So it's going to be lower than the main line, and so the main line is going to all have the cork road bed, and then we'll be good to go from there. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in and watching. And I'd like to thank our new sponsors, Iron Planet Hobby, and you'll find their links and descriptions in the links below, and DigiKeys, the DCC company from the Netherlands, who thinks outside of the box and really makes a cool DCC system. We're going to put this to the test. I guarantee it. So we'll see how it works. But I'm very excited to have it, and thank you, Iron Planet Hobbies and DigiKeys, for sending me that unit. So next time we're going to be looking at probably either putting down some cork. I have a new box of cork here, so I got that in supply, but I also have to worry about embedding these servos into the switches, so we might be messing with those for a little bit. So tune in next time. Again, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that bell icon next to it, and then that'll tell you when I have the next video has been posted. So until we see each other again, keep on building. Take care.